Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is TWitWoW in review. I'm just going to cut right to it, people. This seemed like a pretty mad week in the world of wrestling. Backlashes tonight. I think that's really what I'm dialed in on. We are going to be live reacting to that show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Main evented seemingly by Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in their street fight. So, I'm thinking when two guys like that main event a show, they're probably, imagining one or two crazy things going down in that match. But yeah, other than that, look, AEW is AEW. I'm sick to death of that goddamn company. The Fatal 4-Way has been confirmed. So, we finally got there. And I think we still do have a month of build to AEW's credit, I guess. So we'll still get a month of treating this match as the match we were always expecting we were going to get. Cole Jericho continue to feud, and I love Adam Cole to death, but it just feels so beneath him. WWE, the draft's concluded, everything else. Again, like I said, we're doing Backlash tonight, which we previewed and predicted last night. I recommend you guys all go to the channel and check that out. So I don't even really know how much we're going to talk about there. It's just kind of a mad week. I mean, honestly, bro, I'm just looking forward to the next Stardom shows to get uploaded so that we can do the 5-4 show that was on pay-per-view, but that we kind of opted out of because we want to do everything in chronological order. So I'm just waiting for those shows to get up, man. I'm ready to do this. But how did you feel about this week in the world of wrestling?
Yeah, as far as those Stardom shows, I fully expected to take a little bit, like at least another 4 days probably for any of them to get uploaded at all. But it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me if Sunny kind of rapid fire uploaded them because we got to remember that 429 show looked like it wasn't going to get uploaded, and then he did it all in one night. So he's probably going to
Yeah.
do stuff like that with the remaining Golden Week shows. That being said, though, we should definitely not talk about WWE on this show because we talked about it a lot last night.
Yes.
So that's kind of a relief. But that also kind of means that we're going to have to focus more on AEW. So that's kind of a.
Why?
Yeah.
But why when it sucks? Like,
It's so
what is
bad.
there to talk about?
It's so
What
bad.
what is there to talk about? The idea that Hobbs is with QT Marshall in this fucking factory? Look at the man. Look at the man. I don't even think he's a bad promo from what I've heard, but no, let's just stick him with the modern day job squad, which might be an insult to the job squad. What, the fatal 4-way that we knew was going to happen forever and a fucking day
I
ago?
mean, dude, we,
And
we can
yeah,
talk about how literally it was like the worst ranked episode of Dynamite in a really long time.
as it should be, because this show is fucking shit. Literally, to give credit to two people, and I'm actually surprised two people I'm giving credit to, not because they're bad, just because I didn't expect to put them in the same sentence as each other. Two people that deserve my credit this week: Hikaru Shida, because she's fucking cool, and women's wrestling is a draw, Tony. Okay? And fucking Brian Danielson for being on his eel shit and for making waves saying that he's a better wrestler than Bret Hart ever was, which honestly agree. I'm not saying Bret was bad. I've never seen him, fucking hurt anybody. I've just always been bored by his matches. You give me a decent Daniel Bryan match, or Brian Danielson match, excuse me, and a decent Bret Hart match, I'm gonna go with the Danielson match every time. So, yeah. Um, don't disagree with him there, but he's playing the heel character really well, despite the fact that he's with a chicken shit fucking faction that had the opportunity to be one of the coolest things in fucking pro wrestling, but they were just like, no, we're gonna go another way. And then Hikaru Shida not joining the Outcasts, actually making AEW seem like, yeah, I want to fight for this place. Two of the coolest things about the whole fucking show, because again, I love Cole. I love the idea that Bandito and Cassidy are trying to get in on this feud because they're mid card guys, especially Bandito, that want to fucking rub. I don't know why Bandito didn't win the international title. Huge fucking miss by AEW there. But when he went to attack Jericho on commentary after that big tag match, I know we've said dad bod Jericho, but he just looked so haggard and tired in the fucking face. I'm like, wait, this is the menace of your life right now. This is the guy that's causing you all this problems. And then Britt coming in with the slap. even though her problem should be with the Outcast because they coordinated with Jericho.
Mhm.
So, like, what is everybody fucking doing? Like, fuck this show, dude. I deserves to be the worst rated. I saw that graphic you put up, and again, if you guys want to get in that inside juicy little tidbits, join our Discord, $3 a month. Patreon in the description box below. But yeah, I saw the breakdown, and the women's segment was the best segment, and everything else was just a decline ever since. And that includes MJF, who's not the draw that he always likes to tout that he is in every fucking interview ever. The numbers don't lie. Fuck. Did you enjoy anything on this show?
Oh, did I enjoy anything on this show?
Yeah, I'm
Probably
just curious,
not.
pick your brain if you enjoyed anything on this show. Because I at least said Sheeta and Danielson, but I don't even know if that was enough to, like, rouse any interest in you. Because you might just be like, that was fine, sure. But what surrounds them sucks, so it doesn't really matter.
No, I was more interested in just specifically talking about the ratings. So that was why I wanted to bring it up and talk about that. And you already kind of went through how Sheeta has kind of the women in general made a big difference. I don't know if you were aware of this, because I'm really happy to know that you saw the quarter hour chart that I posted. That's actually awesome.
Yeah.
But something else that I don't know if I even posted in the Discord. I might have just sent this to Abel via DM. I have a spreadsheet of AEW's Dynamite viewership every single week since their first episode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I have isolated the episodes of Dynamite that have happened since MJF won the world title. Would you like to know the % rate of decline?
Oh, absolutely. Let's spill all that tea today.
12.6%.
Whoo, hot damn.
The first episode after MJF won the world title drew 880,000 viewers. The highest rated episode of MJF's title reign was 1.028 million. He has had 2 episodes that have hit the million mark. I will say that. He's had 2 million plus viewer episodes as champion. But if you follow the actual trend line from when he won the world title to right now, it has got a negative 12.6% rate of decay.
Yeah. Dude, I want one of the interviews he goes on for somebody to pull out that chart and be like, well, you say that you're like one of the best performers rating wise, but if you look at the chart,
yes,
and then like, they do the whole thing. And look,
and dude, here's the thing too. If you do look at the quarter hours rating chart that I did post the other day, did you notice the 4 pillars couldn't even, bring back the ratings? They couldn't do it. Like the whole idea that, oh man, these are the 4 guys that are going to be the future. It's like, maybe they need to learn how to draw first.
Because look at them. Like, oh my God, I feel like such an old man, like Cornette-esque, like fucking, but like, look at them. Which thankfully Sean, who's a fucking king, by the way, Sean gets it, man. Because like, he was in our Discord and I was in Free Talk, spreading positive vibes, the ones that I have fucking left that American wrestling hasn't beaten the fuck out of me. And he's like, oh, you have a great day too. And I'm like, oh, happy fuck Sammy Guevara day to you too, king. And he's like, yeah, hope he eats the pin. Yeah, Sean, you fucking can't. I hope he eats the pin too, because he's a piece of shit. Look at these fucking people. If you were to show me these are the people we're betting our company on, before I could answer you, I would have to collect myself from laughing and maybe crying just a little. Can't suck those tears back in. What, you've got Jungle Boy, who again I went on a huge heightism rant about, with probably one of my most memorable lines ever, saying, quote, why don't you get a step stool so you could say it to my whole chest? Not going to recover from that one. Darby Allin, who's a pathological liar. I don't know. Maybe he'll be as successful a face as Alberto Del Rio was when WWE tried that fucking experiment. Fucking MJF, who, even now, I don't completely hate, but like, he hasn't shown that he's capable of any range, and any range that he might be capable of, they just go back to the status quo. And it's like, haha, aren't you guys stupid? No, you're stupid. Because you took me on this convoluted fucking trip for nothing, rather than at least making his box more interesting in any conceivable way. And Sammy Guevara, who, like, when Lacey Evans is lecturing you about what a shit wrestler you are when he was at those tryouts, do I even need to say anything else? These are the people. Jesus Christ, Jamie Hayter weeps. Her, Danielson, the fucking people that actually show up to work and are fucking competent. Jesus Christ. I am so sorry to those people. Jesus. So yeah, they can't fucking save this show. How would anyone expect them to? And I won't be a real dick, as if I haven't been this whole time. You can see how done I am with AEW right now, people. They're bragging about Wembley Stadium. Do you ever consider the possibility that maybe the UK is just starved for fucking pro wrestling?
Oh, dude, for
Because
sure. And also, they're
yeah,
all. The thing is, like, everyone is talking about how they're basically like theoretical tickets. Like, I'm pretty sure that these tickets that have been bought aren't bought by actual people that are going to be sitting in seats that are going to actually be there at the show. They're scalpers. They're people that are buying the tickets to resell them at a higher price.
are you fucking kidding me? Oh
No,
my
I'm dead
god,
serious.
dude.
That's
Oh
that's what's going on here. Like, they've sold over 60,000 tickets, but like, I don't know if there are going to be 60,000 people sitting in that arena. Like, I really kind of, or stadium, I should say. I really kind of doubt it.
bro, I can't believe I'm saying this to you with how I've been acting, but you need to simmer down. I can only get so erect with what you're telling me right now. Because I am taking the bitter fucking pill here. I am saying, you know what? I'm happy when people can get work and all that stuff, sure. But God, like the American scene just shows me that so much about pro wrestling needs to change. And really you could even say like across the globe, like I'm sure a lot about the culture universally needs to change. This shit, I feel bad for the people that bought genuine tickets apparently, because I don't know. I don't feel good about what this company is. I haven't since seemingly ever. I thought Cody being gone would get them on the right track. Somehow, in some ways, it got even worse. And I don't understand it. I mean, again, we were in Discord last night playing code names, being awesome. I had a lot of fun doing that. The teams were amazing. But Curtis was talking about like the fucking Hubs at QT. That's why I went on that right at the beginning, because I'm like, you're seriously just doing that to him. Hold on a second. We got a $5 super chat $2 super chat from Javaris. Excuse me. I do love how you guys love how I say Sammy's name. Yeah, that's one of the best things about him, Javaris, without question. But I'm like, Hobbs isn't a bad dude. Like, he's actually a pretty solid performer across the board. And you're sticking him with fucking QT, who the last thing I really remember him doing was getting in a losing feud with fucking Hook. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? You got fucking Wardlow doing the TNT title again. How many times are you going to circle that drain? It just, fuck, man. Because that's, I think, what infuriates me about AEW more than anything. You have good pieces on the board, but you're not even maximizing their potential. But, fuck, man. Like, let's see. Let me see what I want to ask you. Fuck. So of everything, because I know you watch Dynamite, I can't even like watch most of the clips anymore. I watch maybe like 3 or 4 main clips. Are you liking any storyline they're doing right now? Is there any story that you're like, oh, that's pretty good what they're doing, or do you just feel like they're fumbling the ball across the board?
I miss Swerve.
I miss Swerve too. I miss when Keith Lee wasn't teaming with Dustin fucking. What the fuck is happening? I've had an on again, off again relationship with 2K22. Because I paid $30 fucking for it. So I'm like, I might as well get my money's worth. And sometimes what AEW does reminds me of like those wrestling video games when you let the CPU have control for a little too long and the simulated cards get out of hand. Sometimes though they do get it right. I mean, there was a simulated card once on one of my WWE games that had Jinder Mahal as WWE champion. That aged so horribly in not the way you'd expect. But yeah,
In the way that it
this shit,
predicted something horrible.
exactly. So like, yeah, when I hear like Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, let's put them together. It's like, oh well, looks like the AEW video game is gonna have a great simulator. God.
I mean, if it gets a little loopy, you can't say that it's not accurate.
Yeah, that's I hate everything so much. Oh god, yeah, Javara's asking the right questions. Where the fuck is Keith Lee? Where the fuck are your talented performers that aren't fucking milquetoast and sponsored by fucking Wonder Bread? Oh my god. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, legitimately loathe AEW. Brother, if my rant this whole fucking time hasn't indicated that I'm the same, yeah, I'm right there with you. Danielson, why are you here, baby? Why are you here?
So
Dude,
you know
they
what?
better be doing
Speaking of Danielson, here's a fun little tangent. There
Yeah,
was a New Japan Strong thing recently. I don't know if it was a pay-per-view or just a show, but they did the actually I God. Oh no, you know what? It wasn't a show that happened already. It's one that's coming up. It's Resurgence. There's this Resurgence show coming up, right? And
yeah.
on this Resurgence show, we're actually going to get, I think, let me check real quick. I want to make 100% sure before I go saying anything because I don't want to fuck anything up. Resurgence. There it is. Match lineup. Am I right about this? Okay. I'm glad I looked it up. So, are you aware of who the current New Japan never openweight 6-man tag title champions are?
Isn't Narita part of that team in Suzuki?
Was
Who are the champions now?
Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Good luck stopping that team.
Yeah. So at Resurgence, and I should actually back up again. At Dominion, the team that will be challenging them for those titles is the team of Jon Moxley, Shota Umino, and a mystery partner.
Okay.
Now, when I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, well, it would make sense if it was Wheeler Yuta because that's like that would just be Jon Moxley and basically his two young lions, then basically, right?"
Yeah.
On Resurgence, though, we're gonna get Okada, Ishii, and Rocky Romero versus Moxley, Umino, and Wheeler Yuta. So, dude, I think it's gonna be Danielson. I think we're gonna get Danielson in New Japan at Dominion.
You know, dude, we fucking better because
A lot of people are saying it might also be Claudio, and I don't think that would be a horrible thing by any means. That would be cool too, but I really am leaning Danielson right now.
bro, everybody's landing Danielson because everybody also wants him in the G1,
Yeah.
which he wants. He's like, let me compete in Japan. Let me do a G1. You know, Okada's still putting out fucking bangers. I want to get it while the getting's good. And Tanahashi and Kenta and anybody else. So yeah, you better fucking give it to him. Because I already went on a rant about how turning him heel after this great story he had and what a moving and legitimate babyface he is in the ring. You just threw it away just so that he can join the chicken shit faction. Tony, you fucking owe him this. Give him the fucking G1. Give him as many New Japan dates as he fucking wants, right? Stop being such an insecure little bitch bag. Because you know why you're an insecure little bit? Because you're looking at the same chart that we all just talked about. You know your four pillars can't hack it, and you're trying to hold on to as many quote unquote legit guys as you can. Well, no, ain't gonna fucking work that way. He better fucking work a G1, and he better fucking work that Dominion show. Again, I'd be happy with Claudio too. Claudio's a fucking phenomenal performer, but Danielson's clearly what everybody's talking about. So I hope it comes through. I really, really do, because this is getting so played out now. Fuck. So yeah. I've completely dropped off with Bullet Club Gold because to me Jay White already feels like another one of the guys because he's feuding with Ricky fucking Starks to start. Any thoughts on that?
None. I
None.
don't. Dude, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest Ricky Starks fan to begin with, and I'd rather not pay attention to anything Jericho does. So the fact that they're feuding when they're on my TV, my eyes aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I don't fucking blame you. Like, yeah, like God, this show is so lifeless to me. All right. Fuck. I know with Rampage, they did the fucking final deletion, which sounded cringe as shit. I saw a GIF from that actually while you were talking, because I'm on Twitter, and the news cycle is more entertaining than AEW was, because I'm reading some very interesting things that are happening. But yeah, Stokely, man. Hats off to Stokely for like doing whatever he can to entertain us. He's always been more of a comedic wrestler, albeit in a very different register. And yeah, the bumps he took, even from Hardy's fucking kids, like Stokely, I salute you, brother. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of these final deletion matches. I haven't even heard good things about this one. Unlike the very first one where people were raving because they didn't know that Lucha Underground was a thing, I haven't heard anybody be like, "Oh man, that final deletion was so cool." Like I haven't heard anything, so I doubt it really made much of a like impact kind of in the wrestling sphere. So that happened, and yeah, I guess now the Hardys can move on to another thing. God knows what that is. Um,
Retirement,
House of
preferably.
Yeah, retirement preferably. Yeah, I mean, because I think I already said this like maybe 2-3 weeks ago on TWitWoW interview. How you can keep letting Jeff be a liability to himself and being like, oh yeah, we'll hire you and you can take these bumps. Because that is a human being at the end of the day, and I already got a little personal on here a few weeks ago saying that I'm very intimately familiar with addiction. In my family, elsewhere. I know how hard it is to quit, especially when one of your reasons is I'm in pain all the fucking time because I'm a wrestler. Instead of sitting him down, intervening, and being like, you've had an amazing career. People love you and are rooting for you. Focus on yourself now. This time is over. It's like, no, let's trot you out and do another meaningless fucking program. It just I really, really, really hate it. I saw the Hikaru Shida clip and I wanted to ask you something. Does it seem like Jamie Hayter just feels like a champion and not the champion to you?
Bro, I disagree only because she doesn't feel like a champion at all.
Oh wow, so it's even worse. Wow, I thought
Dude,
you were gonna disagree. Yeah.
they don't make her feel like a bigger deal than anyone else in this storyline. Right now, Saraya feels like a bigger deal than Jamie Hayter does.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really hoping, bro, that when you corrected me, it was like, oh, okay, now even I'm being too cynical. But no, it's actually worse. That's amazing because I'm watching that segment and I'm like, I'm glad Sheeta looks cool, but like I feel like too much emphasis is being put on the heels in Saraya and Tony and I love Ruby to death, but I mean Ruby, and it's like Jamie. I mean, that press conference you showed me, that media scrum, because that's the term they give them. That media scrum, it lives rent free in my head because I'm like, oh my God, this is somebody that understands they're a part of a major wrestling company. And they don't get in petty, childish feuds on Twitter, Sammy. And they keep their nose clean. They don't have any drama. I don't have to worry about opening up like a dirt sheet site and hearing that they were arrested for a DUI or some bullshit. This is somebody that really understands what wrestling is about and is trying to make a legacy. And you're not even making her feel as important as she is. And what's crazy is even in spite of that, I think she's still insanely over. She's got her haters in the audience. I think every week. It's just, man, I wish AEW knew, or I think they do know, they just willfully ignore what a draw women's wrestling is. And then you could put Jamie at the forefront and really have her blow this thing the hell up. Like, dude, if they took women's wrestling seriously, because Tony has said, which to me comes off as mealy-mouthed and whatever, it's like, oh, I'm interested in doing business with Stardom. Well, then show that to Stardom. Because if I'm Stardom and I'm seeing this is what you're doing with your women, I'm like, I don't want to associate our product with that. We just had the biggest gate ever with All-Star Grand Queendom. We were so good. We got Mercedes Moné, at least for that one show, even though she's more New Japan than anything else. I mean, Bushiroad owns both companies. It's whatever. And, we're doing great things. We just did this huge reset with these amazing champions. Step up. Because, we've had Jamie Hayter with us, and she was really good with us, and we'd like to bring that full circle. I would love to see Jamie defend the AEW Women's Championship against, like, an Utami, or a fucking Kamitani, or maybe even Julia, or Micah, or whatever. And it'd be great. It'd be amazing. But Jamie doesn't even feel like she's on that level anymore, even though we know that she is. I am talking perceptually. Doesn't feel like she's on that level right now. Britt Baker, again, feels a bit more important because she's more involved in this Jericho-Adam Cole feud. And I'm like, God damn it. Why can't you give anybody that level of consideration, especially your women's champion? I'm just frustrated.
I think the biggest problem with Jamie, because, like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So MJF has been champion for the exact same amount of time as Jamie. They won their titles on the same night, right? They were both winning full gear back in November. MJF hasn't wrestled that much since then. He's wrestled 2 televised singles matches, and I think they were both title match. Or no, there was the fucking Dynamite Diamond Ring final, and then he had an eliminator match against Takeshita. And then there was the Revolution 60-minute Iron Man match against Danielson, and then just the match last night against, the tag match. Those are the only matches that he's actually wrestled since winning the title, right?
Yeah.
Jamie has had 4 singles matches that have been televised, plus a few tag matches, plus the defense against Ruby and Saraya at Revolution. So she's wrestled a decent amount. They just don't give her talking time. It's like they don't trust her to talk the way that they do with Max. And when they give her talking time, it's as Britt's second.
And I hate, she's the fucking champion. God, like, see, and you can't even say, I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I just want to scream, honestly. Like, I don't even want to do comedy. I just want to scream at this promotion for 30 fucking minutes and call that content. But I know that's not how it works. So let me just take a breath. You can't even say that Tony doesn't like experimenting because his shiny new toy syndrome is, in a very perverse sense, a kind of experimentate. Let's trot this one out and see how they do. You had an Action Andretti, who I haven't heard anything about since, get an upset win over Chris Jericho. And so you're ballsy enough to do that, right? But you won't give your women's champion the fucking mic on her own? As her own person, as the champion, which I can't stress enough because it's real, and I don't know how I remember it, and Ashton remembers it, and everybody in our chat remembers it more than the fucking company. Seriously? Happy for Sheeta, because it was a cool moment for her, and it's one of the cooler moments in the broader storyline. I just don't know if any women are really going to get over from this. I don't know if Willow, for example, is really, because I know she had the match with Saraya, and she was the one that they were going to tag with the spray paint until Sheeta came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Willow is going to get much of a big rub after this, or in like 3 months she's going to be back to working dark and Elevate. Like,
Ring of Honor is really what it is. She's
Ring of Honor.
She's
okay.
She's more of a Ring of Honor type.
Fair
I will
enough.
say though, I'm wondering if this is gonna get any bigger, like if any more people are gonna be a part of this, because like the sort of AEW Originals side right now seems to be capped out at 5, because we've got Britt and Jamie, obviously, Willow and Sheeta, and then Sky Blue was kind of associated with them as well, so you can kind of include her, although she feels like a clear weak point. But then like the Outcasts, it's only 3, right? It's just Saraya, Tony, and Ruby, right?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
So I'm wondering if there are going to be any more Outcasts.
Haven't you personally been saying that you feel like Athena's going to join up? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but hasn't Athena
that's the thing, though, is that she is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And Tony has this weird thing about not letting Ring of Honor champion. Well, actually, that's not... God. So it's really just Tony being a hypocrite, because he lets Claudio work Dynamite and Rampage, but not Athena.
Yeah. Oh, my God, it's even worse. Oh, my God, it's even worse, because that's an excellent point. I already made the point about, like, taking chances on people like Andretti, but you're not going to take a chance with the microphone with fucking Jamie Hayter, what's the worst she could possibly do, honestly? And then, yeah, you bring that up where it's like, oh, Claudio can work all these shit, which, hey, great for Claudio. We're not saying he shouldn't. But if he can, Athena should be able to as well. Get that exposure, get that fucking bread, and show people why you're freaking great.
Yeah. Claudio wrestled multiple matches on Dynamite last month. And when I say last month, I'm talking about April, which is the month that literally just ended less than a week ago.
Yeah.
So like he wrestled, he had 2 Blackpool Combat Club tag matches on Dynamite during April while he was still the ROH World Champion. He won that title back in what, December? No, it must have been before that. No, it was in December. It was December 10th. And he has wrestled on Dynamite every single month since then, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not in January. Okay, no, he didn't wrestle on Dynamite in January. He wrestled on Rampage and Dynamite in February. And he wrestled on Rampage and Dynamite in March, and he wrestled on Dynamite in April. So, other than January, he has wrestled on Rampage and or Dynamite every month. And yet Athena ain't done shit. Anywhere but Ring of Honor. Anywhere but Ring of Honor.
And you know what? We might as well broach this subject too, because Javara said that Dark and Elevation are going to be canceled for the new show Collision. I don't even know what to say about Collision. Like, you can only coast on CM Punk for so long, which the idea that I'm even saying that, I can't even begin to tell you how that makes me feel.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at Athena's cage match right now.
Yeah.
The last time that she wrestled on one of AEW's actual television products was in November.
Jesus Christ.
Rampage against Danny Moe. The last time that she had a televised match for AEW that went longer than like 2 or 3 minutes, you have to go all the way back to the tag match where she's teamed up. And this is before this whole storyline even started. She teamed up with Toni Storm and Willow Nightingale to defeat the team of Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford, and Serena Deeb. That went 9.5 minutes. And that was on an episode of Dynamite back in October.
Oh, boy. Where is Serena Deeb anyway? That's another really good wrestler.
That's a great question, actually. Let me see. Is she currently wrestling somewhere and just not AEW, or is she hasn't wrestled? Yeah, she hasn't wrestled any matches anywhere since October, so I'm assuming injured.
Okay, well, that's great. That's great. Well, I can't blame an injury on Tony Khan, so, he gets away with that one.
Because the last woman that she was in the ring with was relatively fresh.
Oh, man. Okay.
Like, under 3 years experience.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any hope for this Collision show that they got going on? Or do you think it's
yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do, because
well, talk about where your hope is.
My hope is in competition. That is literally it. I think that there's going to be a competitive spirit in the locker room akin to mid-2000s WWE, where it was Raw and SmackDown competing with each other.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be the Collision roster, because I think they're going to be separate rosters, and I think that the Collision roster is going to want to put up better numbers and ratings and stuff than the Dynamite/Rampage roster.
Right, okay.
So that gives me hope for the entire product improving, actually, not just Collision.
Well, we'll see how that goes then. As you can clearly see, I'm definitely on the pessimistic front. But here's the thing: I think with shows like this, it always starts out well. But really, what I'm curious of is how is it going to do after the first quarter? Like after the first 3 months of its existence,
right?
Where is it going to be then?
Yeah,
because I would consider the first 3 months, and that might even be an overextension, to be quite honest with you. But I would say the first 3 months are like the honeymoon phase, and then you really see what the show's going to be. It's kind of like when WWE debuted that show, like not main event, but Superstar. Well, main event too. It kind of fits the bill, but Superstars. That one old show, and they used to have like world champions on the freaking show very early on to make it seem like, oh, hey guys, look who we got on the show. It's CM Punk. You like CM Punk? And then after a while, it really just became the mid-card show, which isn't bad.
Collision is apparently going to be the CM Punk show, like, because there's still tension between CM Punk and the Elite. The Elite are going to be able to basically stay on Dynamite. Punk is going to be on Collision, and those are going to be separated, like hard split.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Punk is a proven draw, to his credit. Like, he does bring in the numbers.
Yeah, so was MJF at one point.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, though, is how long is that going to keep up? How long is he going to be able to carry a show on his own? Because now he is fully 100% in the John Cena spot. You have got your own show to carry. Can you carry it down the goal line? I think he can during the honeymoon phase. After that, it's a bit more of an open question. So, all right. There we go. I really don't know what else to talk about, dude. Fuck this fucking show. Is there anything else you want to say about this?
About AEW, we can probably move on.
Okay, thank goodness. Since we're not going to talk about WWE, I will say very quickly before we open to the Q&A section of the show, and it feels good to say this. Thank you, New Japan, because Tsuji challenging Sonata's got me out of bed after that clip I saw of him spearing
Yes.
Sonata out of his
And
goddamn
dude, apparently he
boots.
has officially joined LIJ already.
Amazing. Amazing. And what was it? What was it? Because I know Foster shared it, because Foster is just amazing. Appreciate you, Foster. Where, Sonata asked Naito, "You're replacing me?" And then Naito's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you already existed." And it was like, damn. So I do like that there's genuine flavor being added to this Sonata title reign. Good job. Unironically, New Japan, good job. Good job. I've been waiting for something good. This is something good. Tsuji Sonata should be awesome. The way he sold that spear, perfection. Perfection, honestly. I really couldn't ask for better. So I don't know, man. Do we think? I mean, obviously Sonata probably retains. Would be a hell of a upset though if Tsuji just beats Sonata right out of the game, brought the title back to Lij.
Bro,
I don't even know if I
that
just
would perk me right up, man. That would perk me right up. That would be like, you know what? I'm glad Sonata had a world title run, and I wish he would have had a longer one. But if y'all are ready to invest in Tsuji as a main event level talent, I can't even complain about that, honestly.
Which I have to wonder if like New Japan ever gets reports like from the companies that they're doing excursions in and shit, and they must have read something about Tsuji, and it's like, oh man, he's the guy. He's the guy. Like, let's get him, because immediately, dude, to go after the world champion, that's insane to me. We've seen a few excursions in our time covering New Japan, especially when we're doing it more actively. I don't think anybody's gotten pushed out the gate like this, because even Jay White, remember when he came back from his, he only did the Intercontinental title, not the world title. And that's still a big push, but like Tsuji, man, is getting that monster. But it almost makes you wonder if he can win. And I'm really wondering, like, are they going to be audacious enough to put the title on him? And I couldn't even hold it against him if they were, because he seems like the complete package right now. So we'll have to see what they do with him.
Yeah,
When's
dude,
that
it's
match?
funny.
Yeah.
Here's a fun thing. I
Yeah.
actually watched Impact this week because of Trinity.
Oh, yeah. How did that? I think I saw one of your tweets about it, but I don't think you were like live tweeting it, right? Because I saw one tweet you had.
I think I only tweeted one thing, but the reason I bring that up though is because guess who was on the motherfucking show?
Who?
Yuya Uemura.
Oh, nice.
And that's
nice.
Tsuji got me thinking about Uemura because they were like part of the same like young lion class, and it got me wondering like if Tsuji got pushed as hard as he is upon returning from excursion, and Uemura took his excursion in Impact. Who was the last guy to take his excursion in Impact, John?
I honestly forget.
Okada!
Oh, God. Okada. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay.
How hard is Uemura going to get pushed when he gets back, bro?
Oh, dude. And now things are getting a little exciting in New Japan again. That's wonderful to see. It's really nice.
Uemura has a great look, too.
Oh my God, yeah. And Tsuji too, to his credit, he looks like he's in incredible fucking shape. I'm like, see AEW, just so I can kick you one last time before we really leave you behind.
Love it.
That's what a pillar fucking looks like. That dude looks legit. When you spear the world champion like that with that kind of physique, you could put the world title on him tomorrow, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Meanwhile, you have checks notes, Jungle Boy. Excuse me. Jack Perry. That's gonna be great.
I posted in chat. I posted an image that features a picture of Uemura with his current look, so you can get an idea.
Look at him. Yeah, great hair, great physique again. Yeah. Good shit, man. Good shit.
Yep.
Good shit. All right.
And that's actually the match that I watched on Thursday. That was the match. And I want to say Moose pinned the other guy, not Uemura, I think.
Oh, okay. So
I could be
Uemura
wrong,
was protected. Yeah.
Because even though I had it pulled up and I did, watch it, I wasn't paying the most attention to it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
There was still a lot of shit on the show, man. Like, Sami Callihan is being heavily featured and is probably going to be Macklin's first challenger for the world title. Macklin himself is the world fucking champion. PCO was heavily featured in a big tag match. Like, it was not a great show by any means.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, trailer park and a trailer park. Here's the big question, though. How did our Trinity do? Did she,
amazing, dude. I haven't heard an Impact crowd that loud, maybe ever.
Damn.
That was insane. They were so loud, and you already know I cannot stand Matthew Raywolt's voice. They were so loud they were drowning him out, though.
Yeah.
He was trying to commentate and give people information on how big of a deal this was for Trinity while her entrance was happening. You could barely hear him. I could barely hear him to even know that he was even trying to talk, much less what he was saying.
That's amazing. I love that for her, genuinely. That's incredible. Hey, if they're going to be able to afford her, which clearly they are, I hope she enjoys every second of it, honestly. And then I hope she takes all that momentum and comes to Stardom and joins Club Venus. I haven't given up on the dream. But yeah, man, I'm glad they at least got something right there with Trinity. Anything else you want to touch on with your Impact experience?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, all right.
You know, I like Deonna Purrazzo. I really do. And Jordan Grace was there too. And apparently they have a match coming up on May 20-something at a pay-per-view called Under Siege, where if Jordan doesn't beat Deonna for the women's championship, she can never challenge her again. Because, dude, I looked it up. Jordan Grace, the fucking She-Hulk woman in AEW or in Impact Wrestling, is 0-3 against Deonna Purrazzo.
Damn.
I'm like, how the hell do you look at this woman and that woman and be like, oh yeah, the one that's like yoked and fucking jacked to hell is going to be 0-3 against the one that's like, you know, kind of soft in the middle.
Yeah. Damn,
I mean, I guess it sends a good message about body positivity for sure, but like still, like, holy shit, it just does not seem believable to me at all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
But apparently basically Trinity said, okay, I got next. Whoever wins that match, she wants to challenge for the title. So I'm thinking, my opinion, I'm thinking Deonna retains, but then Jordan helps Trinity win the title so that she can challenge again.
Interesting. Yeah, that could happen.
That's my guess. That's how I think it's going to go. But I could be wrong. I don't necessarily have my finger on the pulse of Impact's booking style, so I'm not trying to say that I know what they're going to do. That's just what I would do if I was in control of how they're handling things. They probably have their own plans and what they, you know, their own agenda and all that stuff. I'm curious how they do it. I'm going to be trying to keep up with it from now on because of Trinity. So congratulations to Impact for getting her, because she's made me, someone that never used to watch the show, start watching the show.
There you go. That's beautiful, man. Congratulations, Trinity. Congratulations to Impact. You broke enough piggy banks to afford her for however long you've got her. Hope you make the most of it. As far as extracurricular, did you watch anything extra like outside the Wrestling Week bubble this week?
You know what? I did, but I wasn't paying close enough attention to really talk about it, unfortunately, and I really want to go back and rewatch it. So I watched another episode of Nitro, and then I watched Halloween Havoc 95, but I really, really struggled with paying attention. I did see one thing that cracked me the fuck up. So there's this whole thing that's getting built up. It's basically, there are three main storylines going on in October of 95 Nitro, right?
Yeah.
And the three big storylines are Lex Luger versus Macho Man, Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson and the Four Horsemen, and Hulk Hogan versus the Dungeon of Doom, right?
Right, okay.
And this whole Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson thing was building up and building up and building up, and Arn recruited Brian Pillman to be his second horseman, right?
Right.
And the whole thing was like, you know, Sting has always been anti-horseman, anti-evil factions in general. So Sting sided with Ric Flair, and there was a tag team match where it was supposed to be Ric Flair and Sting versus, I think it was supposed to be Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman on an episode of Nitro. And Sting was like, no, I'm not going to do it. You're going to betray me. There's no shot. Ric Flair went out there and he wrestled a 2v1, really valiant effort, really heroic. He really went out there and tried his heart out. And I got to tell you, man, it was great. And then Sting came out and they won the match, right? It ended up being a true tag match. And so then they made the match official for the pay-per-view, a rematch. Sting and Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman. And at the pay-per-view, Sting worked basically the entire match. And as soon as he tags in Ric Flair, Rick gets in the ring, turns around and punches Sting and betrays him.
God damn it. I knew that's where it was going the moment Javara said in chat, oh God, I remember this, laughing my ass off. I'm like, no. No.
Dude, it was so funny. And it was just a 3-on-1 beatdown on Sting. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. That would have 100% tricked me when I was younger. 100%. I never would have seen that coming.
Oh, same. And now as like a jaded adult, I would have been like, Sting, you knew they were going to betray you.
Bro, if I was younger, I would have been like, oh, Rick, look at how hard Ric Flair fought against Arn Anderson and Pillman. He would never betray Sting. He's a good guy now. He's reformed. And then he does that at the pay-per-view.
He's reformed. Shocked Pikachu faces everywhere.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Poor Sting, man. That's gotta be a mindfuck. You knew, then you went against yourself, which, I mean, increasingly learning as an adult, never do that. I understand that some things are just straight up trauma responses and you probably should, but if you're really actively fighting yourself to side with someone else, there's gotta be something wrong there. Sting does it, and then he gets betrayed. Like,
yeah. And he knew too. He even said ahead of time, like, no, you're gonna betray me. I know this whole horseman shtick. And then like Ric Flair like roped him in by having the valiant effort in the tag match.
You got worked.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Let's see. What else did I do? Oh, that was, dude, the October 16th of 1995 episode of Nitro featured the WCW debut of Chris Benoit.
Oh, nice.
Against Eddie Guerrero.
Of course.
It was a really good match too. Eddie even attempted a tiger feint kick in the match.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The commentators also didn't know what to call a dragon suplex. Like he did a dragon. One of them, I think it was probably Chris, did a dragon suplex, and they were like, "Oh wow, he just did like a German suplex, but he had him in a full Nelson too." Like they didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
It was funny. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch anything, so I guess we can open up the forum to questions.
I still have more stuff to talk about. I didn't pay as much attention to Halloween Havoc, but I paid some attention to some Nitro stuff.
Oh, so what happened on Nitro?
You know how I mentioned the big three storylines being like Luger, Macho Man, Rick versus Arn, and then Hogan versus Dungeon of Doom?
Yeah.
What do you already know about the Dungeon of Doom so that I know what not to talk about?
Well, wasn't that the same storyline where he gets into that one world and he's like, "Oh no, it's not hot."
That already happened. That already happened. That was months ago, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I don't really know much beyond that.
There are no Hulkamaniacs here.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, that's that. So basically the Dungeon of Doom is led by Kevin Sullivan.
Okay.
The Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, right?
Right.
And the Giant is their cornerstone, you know, the Big Show.
Yeah.
And the whole gimmick was that he was the son of Andre the Giant at the time.
Right, that I do remember.
And he spoke too. It wasn't like this creepy silent giant guy. He actually did cut promos, and he used this weird like raspy wrestler voice, like Hogan almost. Like he didn't use his usual voice. He would do like, Hogan, I'm coming for you. Like he was crazy, dude. It sounded weird as hell though. But he also had this weird gimmick where he would do this like neck break thing, like the Hollywood neck break thing. You know how in movies they'll like neck break the guy's neck to kill him?
Yeah.
He did that to Hogan every week.
Damn.
To the point that Hogan's just in a neck brace permanently now.
Damn.
Hogan comes out in a neck brace every fucking week, bro. I swear to God.
Amazing.
It is ridiculous and hilarious. But the angle has actually brought out sort of an interesting dark side in Hulk Hogan, where he talks about committing acts of violence in the interest of protecting the training, the vitamins, and the prayers, instead of just telling people to take your vitamins and say your prayers and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause
right?
those vitamins ain't working.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's cool though, because it's almost like he's channeling this alter ego in order to protect the sanctity of his fandom.
yeah, that is interesting. I didn't
It
think
is
they'd do
different.
anything like
It's
that with
cool
Hogan
though,
there.
because I feel like Hogan's always been very one-dimensional, but this was like an interesting extra dimension that they were kind of having him use, and I didn't expect it. Honestly, I didn't expect it at all, and
Yeah.
it was almost like an interesting preview too of like the Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So kind of like a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, because
All right.
Hollywood Hogan would be a year out. It's not even a year out because I don't think the NWO happened that late in '96. I think it was like mid of '96, right? Like July-ish.
That's right, because didn't it happen at like a bash at the beach or something?
I think something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's just interesting though that like there's like a whole story of like the Dungeon of Doom made Hogan turn to a darker version of himself first. And then later down the line, we get the true heel Hollywood Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. I think that's interesting. The other big storyline, though, is Macho Man Randy Savage versus Lex Luger. That started when Luger debuted on the first episode of Nitro.
Right. Didn't we kind of touch on that where it's like it was a retirement match for somebody, whether it was Macho Man or Luger.
Yep.
You were telling me about that recently.
Yep. And then,
Yeah.
so the whole thing, though, is that, like, they're at each other's throats, but Sting is friends with both of them and wants them to get along. But the reason they're at each other's throats is because they both want the world title. So they're constantly at odds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was cool. That was interesting. Trying to think of what else. I gotta watch more. I gotta go back and rewatch Halloween Havoc. Really, is what it comes down to, at least. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this journey that I'm on, and I get to update you guys on every week because I've always been so intrigued by like the progression of how things actually happened in the 90s, because the version that you get in documentaries is so incredibly tainted and one-sided because they're told with a heavy like favoritism of the fucking team that won the war, the WWE. It's like everything is told through the filter of Vince McMahon, and WCW were like these evil, clownish, incompetent goofballs and bad guys at the same time. And WWF were like these Puritans, right? Where like they were doing things the right way. But like going back and actually watching it is a lot more interesting than just being, spoon-fed this weird storybook version through the filter of Vince McMahon's eyes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you get to see their side like on perverted by WWE's kind of whole PR machine.
Exactly.
You just kind of get to see it for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's like the whole like history is told by the victors or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I want to see real history, not the version that's being told by the victors.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that makes for more interesting commentary by far.
Alex Foster in chat. Hogan turned heel July 7th, 1996, aka the day he was born.
And to this day, people still throw trash at me. And yeah, point them my way. I'll fucking deal with them.
Yeah,
Nobody
we'll
throws trash at you
beat
again.
their asses.
Fuck yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say as far as the extracurricular segment goes?
I'll have to check that out, Javaris. Thank you. And John, I think we talked about Impact already, so we don't have to talk about that. And we talked about my WCW capades, so no, I don't think we have to talk about anything else.
All right, then let's open up to questions. We already did get some questions. Let me go first to Foster. Is it bad I want Orimura to try and take control of Chaos from Okada? I think it'd be interesting. I don't think it's bad at all, Foster. I think you're looking for a shakeup. I think you're looking for New Japan to kind of ride the wave of some of the momentum they're building and just be like, listen, why don't we take Okada way far afield and have him start from scratch? I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you about. You know who Manabu Nakanishi is, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he was in WCW in 95.
Oh, wow. That's not too surprising, but still interesting.
He went by the
Yeah.
name Kurosawa.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
dude, on one of the episodes of Nitro that I watched this week, he had a fucking match with Randy Savage, Macho Man.
Oh, nice.
It was a
Nice.
really solid match too. It was relatively competitive. Like you'd expect, like this random foreign guy coming over from Japan and going against one of the top guys in the promotion, that it would be like pretty one-sided, but it was relatively two-sided. It was, competitive.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because even the stuff with Nakanishi that we saw, like in the late stage of his career in New Japan, when we were able to watch it wasn't bad.
Dude,
So
he looks
it's
so much like Goto. It's wild.
yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it. Um,
It's Nakanishi, but with hair.
yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, Foster, I don't blame you at all. Caster Sales had asked earlier, now that Sami Zayn is on Raw, do you think he has a shot at becoming world champion? Sure, I think both him and Kevin do.
100%, yeah. On
Yeah.
Raw, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, because nobody's beating Roman except maybe Cody or whoever, they're really building up, but I don't even know what building up to beat Roman even looks like anymore, because when I think it's somebody, then it's like, oh, nobody retains. So yeah, I'm just reading chat. I'm like, wow, that sounds wild. So yeah, Caster, I definitely think Sammy's got a shot, and Kevin as well. I miss Kevin as world champion, so I think they'll both have a pretty good shot at it. I think that Raw World title is gonna have a very interesting lineage. I'll put it to you that way. All right, guys.
Dude,
now that
I was
yeah.
just looking at chat too, and Foster reminded me of something. So during the Trinity Diana promo on Impact,
Yeah.
Diana had this really catty line where she was like, once you've signed up for a championship match with me, that's something that you can't just walk out on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And Trinity was like, okay, if we're going there, well, yeah, you got a match with me, and when I'm done with you, you're going to hope that you got fired again.
Damn.
It was really bad, dude. I hate the work shoot shit so much.
It's pretty awful.
But it was the laziest form of writing to me.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's a cheap shot, and it's like, be better than that. Elevate your writing, because when you elevate your writing, you elevate the people that are using your writing to cut promos. So yeah, guys, those are the two preliminary questions. Any other questions, please, file them in. I just want to make sure that I didn't forget about Foster, kind of putting that suggestion out there, and Caster Sales asking his questions. So anybody else, you could feel free to ask questions about this week in the world of wrestling. So let's hear it. Let's see. Is there a chance that they combine the NXT women's and main roster women's tag titles? I don't personally think so, Foster, but
Dude, again, that was some. Thank you, Foster. God, Alex has been like my fucking personal like substitute right now. This is crazy. I wanted to talk to you about NXT too, because they ended the show with Indy relinquishing the women's title.
yeah, I did see that, and Dexter carrying her off.
There was a big scramble for the title, though. Like Tiffany Stratton came out, Cora Jade came out, Lyra Valkyria came out, and then the whole women's locker room emptied out, and they were all going for it.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought that was pretty cool, at least.
So who do you want to be the next champ?
I would say either Cora, just because it's inevitable, and you might as well rip the bandit up, and it's not like she's even a bad worker. Or I really do like Lyra Valkyria, but I think also Gigi could be an interesting choice, given that she is a freshly minted baby face, and I think it'd be interesting to see her have a run with it. You got your eye on anybody that you'd like to see hold the title?
I was hoping they'd just put it back on Roxanne, honestly.
Yeah, and they might. They definitely might. But yeah, Foster, I don't see those belts being consolidated. I don't know what Ashton thinks, though. Do you think that they might?
Well, that was the other thing, is that Isla and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire retained against Katana and Kaden.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he's asking. It's because they did retain and they're going to SmackDown, but
yeah, I
don't
think
know.
there's a chance they will. I mean, if you had Indy relinquish, but you didn't have the tag champs relinquish, that just translates to me as the NXT women's tag champs are not going to be in NXT anymore. So why would you not just fuse them with the tag champs that are already on the main roster.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think if they do, it's kind of silly. 'Cause it's like we went on this whole journey creating separate titles because of the whole controversy. Because who was it even that couldn't beat Shayna and Nia Jax when they were the champions? And then it was Dakota and Raquel, oddly enough. And then you come back to just NXT not having women's tag titles. And then what are you going to try and do again that the women's tag titles can be defended across brands and be more serious about it this time? Like, I know Triple H is different, but if he's trying to clean up some messes, like I need to see that he's really committed to keeping them clean.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how it goes. But any other questions?
Javaris thinks that they're going to put the NXT Women's Championship on Tiffany.
And quote, I'm gonna hate it so much. Yeah, Javaris, that very well might happen. There's very good chance of that, I think. Because again, I think Tiffany, much like Cora, is kind of inevitable in that way.
Boy. You're not wrong. I'm just sad about it.
Yeah. Understandable.
So do we have any more questions from anyone? Hello, hello, hello. Cues. We've got A's for your cues.
Indeed we do. It's looking like maybe not, brother. I guess we can move on to high spots and low shots.
And your son's not even here to enjoy them.
Yeah. Is there anyone you wish had gotten called up in the draft?
Braun?
Really shouldn't Braun Breaker. Yeah, Braun Breaker was my big one because I'm like, so Braun's getting drafted, right? And it was just like, no, he's heel and he's in NXT and he's feuding with Carmella. And I'm like, cool, but then he's gonna be called up another way, right? And it's like, no, he's gonna be the Raw after Mania maybe next year, maybe, or maybe we're just gonna wait for the draft next year. Fuck you. Yeah. So what about you, Ashton? Because for me it was Braun. Was there anybody that you were disappointed by that didn't get called up?
No, I think it's mostly just that I was with you expecting that Braun would get called up. I'm really glad that Cameron got called up though. That was my big one. Was like you were with Braun, I was with Cameron. I got what I wanted, but now I'm wishing you got what you wanted too.
I love Cameron Grimes, and in fact, honestly, this is the best thing for me too, because I think Cameron being on SmackDown, there's a chance of a kind of a renaissance of my Cameron Grimes fandom. Because I totally fell off with him in NXT, bro. But him on SmackDown, like, he could be anything from a mid-card champion to a babyface Money in the Bank holder. Like, there's so much you could do with this dude that's believable to me. And I'm so excited for it. And the way that dude cuts a promo, he's a better Cody Rhodes than Cody Rhodes. Because everything Cody Rhodes envisions he is, I feel like Cameron Grimes just does it 10 times better. So I'm really excited for him that he's going to be on the main roster. And here's the thing, just like Otis, I would love Cameron and Roman sharing a ring together. Because I feel like that would be such a great underdog title defense. Maybe even better than the one that Roman had against Sammy. Granted, the big thing for Sammy was it was in his hometown. But Cameron, I think, would bring that babyface fire. And
Bro, I'm going all in on Cameron being the one to beat Theory for the U.S. title.
I hope you're right, man. Kirby coming in. We gave enough time for people to have questions. Kirby coming in. When are we getting Charlotte Flair versus Bianca title match?
WrestleMania 40.
Either WrestleMania 40 or I know we were talking EO a lot on preview and predictions. Realistically, it could be Charlotte in the SummerSlam spot as well. I could totally see that. So I'd say either SummerSlam or I definitely agree with Ashton. Mania 40 because Bianca's had this whole thing about, wanting to beat all the 4 horsewomen. I'm with you, Javaris. Hopefully never. But let's be honest, Javaris, just keeping it totally real. No Team 1%, no any of that stuff. When have you and I ever really been happy? With like American wrestling specifically. When has WWE ever been like, Javaris and John, you've been really good lately. I'm going to give you what you want. Because, my watch is set at 9:30. So, yeah, I'm just going to swallow that bitter pill. Mark is 100% expecting Rhea and Bianca at Mania. Honestly, Mark, I can understand that too, given the exchanges they've had. Well, the exchange that they had recently where they were both in the ring. I could see that. Oh, wow. Damn, Javaris. That's rough, bro. Not since Keith Lee won the NXT title, John.
You guys realize that Bianca has beaten horsewomen at WrestleMania 3 straight years in a row. Oh, no, wait. She beat Asuka this year. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
well,
thought
she's like a
in my
spiritual
mind,
horsewoman, really.
I thought she'd be Bailey in my mind for some reason this year.
Yeah.
But it was Becky. It was Sasha at 37. Then it was Becky at 38. It was Asuka this year. But I'm surprised she hasn't beaten Bailey at a Mania. It's probably because Bailey doesn't ever get fucking WrestleMania matches. Jesus Christ.
Dude, they do Bailey so dirty. Don't even get me started on that rant because we're close to taking it home.
Yeah.
But like, fuck. Yeah, Bianca versus Rhea is the Mania match in my thought. Okay, yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So I think we can transition to high spots and low shots, and let me give a nice hard think about this. Honorary low shot MJF because you fucked up your own plan. He just wanted it to be him versus Sammy, and he paid Sammy to take a dive, but your ego made the team implode, and now you've got a fatal four-way, and the guy that you paid off is probably going to come after your title too, so it's a genuine fatal four-way. So nice going there, jackass. As far as my actual low shot, fuck, actual low shot. What do we do here? I'm still gonna say actual low shots of the Usos because you could feel that tension every fucking week. Roman is gonna give them a stern talking to, and maybe more, maybe more. So, who's your actual low shot? Unless you have any honorary low shots like I did.
I'm working on figuring that out personally, honestly.
Yeah,
You kind of took the one that I was probably going to go for, honestly.
this week's been so meh. I mean, if there was ever a time to just share these,
That would be really easy, wouldn't it?
yeah, you're probably gonna make things difficult for yourself though. So I'll wait.
I do tend to do that, don't I?
You do.
Thanks for the acknowledgement, at least.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna lie to you. No, it's a problem.
You know what? Because I love to use low shots to hurt myself. Gigi Dolan.
That's really healthy. Concerning, but healthy.
She lost to JC Jane this week.
Oh God.
She got sent into exposed steel and then rolled up. Or she got exposed steel and then she got caught with a spinning kick and then rolled up.
Oh, poor Gigi. Oh man. So yeah, okay, high spot. Let me get my shit together. Jesus Christ, this fucking product. I hate so much of wrestling right now, so much. This episode really made that clear to me. I'm like, wow, everything just sucks except Stardom, and I don't even know how the fuck I'm still here. You know what? High spot. No, because that was the prior week. I was gonna say high spot Cameron Grimes. Not much we were talking about him. You know what? High spot. I'm gonna say high spot Indy. Because, she relinquished the title for a good reason. Yes, she's injured, but she is getting called up, which means that people in the company still believe in her. And she's still got her storyline with Dexter that's been one of the longest running storylines really in the entire WWE. I think it's right up there with the Bloodline for like just continuity's sake, how long it's been going. And now it's going to get even more developments with them being on the same show. So for Indy to be a part of a storyline with that depth, that length, and everything else, it's a big deal for her. It's a big deal for any woman in the company. So I'm going to say Indy's my high spot, actually. Who's your high spot?
Well, my honorary high spot is going to go to Hikaru Shida because It was great to see her come back, and it was great to see the ratings pop when she showed up. That was awesome. But my actual high spot has to go to Trinity. She made her Impact debut to a massive pop, massive reaction, and then immediately got inserted into the world title picture. So really cool to see. Really happy for her. She seems really happy as well. So that's just doubly happy for her. So yeah, there you go.
Neat. All right, guys. This has been TWitWoW in Review, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John, it's my core and commentary Ashton. Be sure to like the video as you file out, subscribe with the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch. Like I said, we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And we will see you tonight for Backlash live reactions headlined by Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. How is Dominic Mysterio going to fuck it up for Judgment Day? Nobody knows. But you'll get your best coverage here at TWitWoW. So we'll see you guys then. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Stay away from shitty wrestling that makes you down on the industry, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. All you have to do is seek it out. And yeah, tune in. Peace out.